we'll miss our technical.
So welcome, everybody. My name is Lynn Wemyss. I'm coming to you live from A Different Kind of Better. And what is A Different Kind of Better? It is a platform for wellness practitioners to teach the world on a global basis anything that they think will help people stay healthy. And today we are so excited to introduce you to somebody that is so wonderful, who is going to help us with our struggles in our relationship. But first of all, those of you who know me know that I have to read the disclaimer first, so we'll get that over with as soon as possible. So here we go. This presentation or webinar may contain general information about various medical conditions and their treatment. It does not provide medical advice. The information provided through this presentation is for informational purposes only. The purpose of this message is to promote an understanding and knowledge of various health topics. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Before beginning any type of natural, integrative, conventional counseling or mentoring regime, we recommend that you seek the advice of a licensed healthcare professional. So we are done with the formalities. And so I know that's long-winded, but we have to be safe, right? So I want to introduce you to Hailey Patry. She is a renowned person. Like, I just cannot tell you how excited I am to actually have her as a guest on our live today. She is an award-winning bestseller. You can see in her background that that is her book called Happy Love. And so she is what I call an expert on happy love. And so she is going to pass some of that on to us today. And stay tuned, because at the end, she's going to be giving away some free prizes and some links on how to reach her for those of you that may need her. And as far as I'm concerned, we all do, because she is going to bring us some tips today that all of us can use, especially today. And why does A Different Kind of Better have somebody on that is talking about relationships? It's because I believe, and a lot of people believe, that if you have a poor relationship, and it doesn't matter whether it's with husbands, wives, sisters, brothers, family, friends, whatever, if it's not healthy, it's going to make you unhealthy, right? We are all about body, mind, and spirit here at A Different Kind of Better. So what better than to have somebody like Hailey Patry, an expert in this area, come and talk to you. So at this point, I'm just going to let Hailey say a quick hello, and then I'm going to start, throwing questions at her.
Well, Lynn, it is such an honor to be with you on your show today. You and I have been friends for about a decade and a half. You are one of the few people in this world that I'm not actually related to who was at my wedding in Jamaica. And I just adore you and your family and the work you do in natural holistic healthcare. You have always stood for that there has to be a better way and a different way, and you've never given up on people. You've always looked for the outside the box solutions, and I have so much respect for you. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And I have a quote to kick off our show tonight. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
It's from Renee Brown. I just love her. And when you told me about what we were going to talk about, I thought this quote was fitting for us. So here we go. This is from Renee Brown. A deep sense of love and belonging is an irreducible need of all women, men, and children. We are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. When those needs are not met, we don't function as we were meant to. We break, we fall apart, we hurt, we numb, we ache. We hurt others, and then we get sick. There are certainly other causes of illness, numbing, and hurt, but the absence of love and belonging will always lead to suffering. It took years to whittle this down, but eventually, love, when it's gone wrong, always ends up in illness. Renee says that love is not something we give or get. It is something that we nurture and grow. It's a connection that can only be cultivated between two people when it exists first within each of them with self-love. The way that we love, when it's working, it changes our brain for the better. And when it's not working, it changes our brain, our health, our body, our realities for the worse. And so today we want to talk about the dangers of having struggle in your relationship for a long time and what you can do about it if that's you.
I really love that. That's excellent. So what a great way to start the day. Thank you for that, Hailey. It's great sharing. So Hailey, why are we talking about stressed out, struggling relationships today? And what is the correlation to that and staying healthy? And you kind of
We all know that stress has, there's so much data that shows the impact, the negative impacts that stress has on our overall health and well-being. But it's often been said, if you want to be happy, marry or partner with the right person. So what about those folks that are either partnered with the wrong person, or you are in a relationship with the right person, but you don't have the skills to be good at love together? So the relationship is tense, toxic, non-communicative, lonely, distant, and perhaps also touchless, loveless, and sexless. The truth is that when we're in a relationship that hurts, it doesn't hurt just 9 to 5. It hurts all the time. It hurts when you wake up. It hurts when you go to sleep. It hurts at the dinner table. It hurts when you think about your finances. And when a couple is in deep, deep struggle, this is a 24/7 stressful reality that can't help but take a toll on our physical health. Also, for couples that are experiencing a sexless relationship, the missing of access to all of those love hormones, that takes a toll on our physical health over time. So when we're not fully expressed in love, we hurt and we suffer.
Yep, I've definitely felt that in my life. And I think most people will have as well, right? I don't think I've met too many people. Actually, I can say I've met 2 couples that have the perfect, and maybe that's on the outside. I don't even know whether that's a reality or not, but they seem to have this 100% perfect relationship. But it's so rare because it's so hard, and we're not given any courses leading into it, right?
Yeah, we're not taught, just like we're not taught how to be abundant in school, we're not taught how to love. And there's a skill set for being excellent at anything in life. And love is no different than that. Just like parenting isn't automatic, there's a skill set that can help make parenting go better. There's a set of tools and skills and methods that can make love go better. And it's funny, Lynn, it's different when we're single. When we're single, we know that it is our job to fill our own happiness cup and our own love cup. And it doesn't have to hurt in the same way. But when we're in a relationship, we sort of figure it's our job to fill our own happiness cup, but we kind of think we can extend the love cup forward and that our partnership is going to do some filling there. So when the relationship is really empty, you are hyper aware all the time of that emptiness, and that's where it hurts. And especially when, physical expression is missing, gosh, we're missing out on so many wonderful experiences.
Yeah, that's so true. So Hailey, tell me something. Why do you care so much about helping couples thrive?
I love people, Lynn. I love love. And I know that most couples suffer needlessly, and it doesn't have to be that way. It's my life mission to decrease the divorce and depression rates and increase the amount of love and happiness. But I have some personal experience of why I care so much. I grew up in a home where my parents' marriage struggled a lot. And as children, it was very hard to grow up in that environment. I then married into that kind of environment in my first marriage, and I left for the safety of my son and I. And so I was the child of unhappy love. I once was the wife in unhappy love. And when I met my husband 11 years ago and we created this happy love together, the same methods we use on us, they're available for everyone who wants to use them to apply in their own relationship. So ultimately, I just use my life, Lynn, as proof that the past role models we have for love, the past relationships or even marriages we've had, they don't have to be indicative of our future if we're willing to learn a new way of doing love. And I just want to see people get out of pain and experience the joy that a healthy, thriving relationship can create.
You never cease to amaze me. You inspire me because you've always wanted to give. That's one thing about you that I do know. So I know that in doing what you're doing now, you're doing it because, like me and my passion for helping people get healthy, You're doing it because you want to see them have the same joy that you have in your life. And
Exactly.
And experience is the best way to do that. So while we're on the subject of experience, let's talk about, you have people that you've mentored, coached. Do you know
Sorry
what?
about that.
Somebody told me today that Mercury is in retrograde, and it is definitely proving that today.
It's all good. It's my fault. I hit the wrong button.
Oh, I feel better now that I'm not the only one that has this. So you have couples that you've already coached and you've already mentored. Can you give us an example of a couple that was struggling, that is okay with you talking about it, that you've turned around and helped yourself?
Yeah. This couple that comes to mind is so near and dear to my heart. And while they do let me share their actual details, I'll change their names just because this show is so public. So we're going to go with the names of Mary and Grant for the purpose of this story. When I met them, they were grandparents. They had been together for 3.5 decades, and they weren't happy for 3.5 decades.
Oh.
There had been an 8-year affair. Grant was dealing with alcohol, depression, and Mary had dealt with cancer, and they were in a lot of pain. When they reached out to me, they had just, the affair had just been revealed. Mary had just found out, and she was, as you could imagine, devastated. And most of her friends would have given her the advice to just leave. When we worked together, we were able to do the full timeline healing for both of them on what they picked up in their childhood around how love and relationships are. And we were able to go back to the very beginning of their relationship and restore the original wounds. Basically, the foundations that were cracked long before the infidelity ever happened. Long story short, after 10 years sexless as a couple, after 8 years of infidelity, within 2 sessions, they started to fall in love with each other again, and they started to make love again. Fast forward a little bit, we graduated them after 90 days in treatment, and they renewed their vows. They've just celebrated 14 months since renewing their vows. They've never been happier. They've never been more in love. They are like teenager bunnies, except they're very far away from being teenagers. And what we learn from them is that it's possible, no matter how disconnected a couple is. If it's in both people's highest good to be together and they're both willing to do the work, we can repair, we can restore. And they had so much love. They just had so many blocks in the way. So I keep in touch with them regularly. They've become very near and dear to my heart. And they really are proof that if you have fallen out of love with your partner, and it is a safe relationship to be in. So we're not talking about domestic violence. We're just talking if you have fallen out of love, you're in disconnection. If you do the work, miracles are possible.
Okay, that's amazing. I have no words. You must be very proud of that, because I can't even imagine the feeling of actually helping someone save a marriage. And I'm going to be totally transparent here, because I love my husband very much. We're 30 years together, but we have done counseling and we have been through crises. And, we did get help. With us, it was through ministry, but without that, we would not have survived. And we're very grateful.
And couples deserve that help, because, again, if we aren't going to get the skills in school, and we probably aren't going to get the right role modeling from our families, where are we going to go when we're in crisis? And to not give a relationship a fair chance of getting support, that's really heartbreaking. And this couple's a perfect example. They loved each other so much, but they had so many cracks in their own individual foundations from their own individual childhood. And when we could clean up their self-worth, their limiting beliefs, their MOs, their addictive behavior, their controlling behavior, when we could clean all that up, there was no need to have any further infidelity or disconnection. And it's interesting, when all trauma in a relationship is hard, infidelity is only one type of trauma that couples can go through. But it might either be the wound that breaks a couple, or it can be the wound that allows them to re-establish every part of their relationship. Take it back to the studs, like a renovation. And if the bones are solid, then we rebuild even stronger. we can make the relationship better than it ever even was before the trauma or infidelity. And that's so hopeful for couples.
Yeah, I tell my children all the time when they're struggling with theirs, it's temporary, it's situational, it will pass. And if you can learn to get through it and get through to the other side, it's going to do nothing but strengthen your relationship. You know, marriage isn't a bed of roses, right? We have to accept that as well. But it's great if we have people to help us, you know, stay on the good side, right? That can teach skills. So what are some?
And not all relationships are meant, you know, to be stayed in. So let's put that out there as a message of warmth and safety and understanding for couples. Mm-hmm. There are things that can happen in a relationship, domestic violence being one of those things. You know, abusive behavior. There are things that can happen in a relationship that we're not meant to stay in those relationships. One of the biggest characteristics of a relationship that we should not stay in is where we have a partner who's doing hurtful behavior. They are not remorseful. They are not in therapy. They do not take ownership. They are not working to get better. And there is no hope of change. And so some relationships aren't meant to be stayed in. But when a relationship is in the highest good of both people to be in, it's because they both take ownership for their flaws and faults. They are remorseful. They practice empathy. They are actively working on their self-improvement and the betterment of the relationship. And they're getting professional help. That's different than just saying, let's hope it doesn't happen again.
Yeah. I feel sorry for the people that never get help. Or,
yeah, me too.
Or you have one that wants to and the other one doesn't.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that you can give us some tips today for our viewers to sort of help them get through some of the struggles that they may be faced with.
Absolutely. If you and your partner are in a state of disconnection right now, one of the first things that I would encourage you to do is take a holistic and comprehensive inventory of your relationship. I will post something up to make a free tool available for you where you can actually see all 16 parts of a relationship, ranging from love and kindness to division of labor, finances, respect, trust, communication. It's all there. So the place to start when you feel like you're in a rut or things are really tense is take that honest inventory. How are you doing in each of those individual parts of your relationship? The second thing to do is to let your mind wander about not how it is now, how would you rather it be? You know, if we could take your relationship up to a level where you would be happy and fulfilled, let your mind wander for what would that even look like? You know, most of the time we give up on something before doing the work. And if you can't picture what better would look like, there's not a great chance we're going to create better. And to the name of your show, Lynn, your platform, and your clinic, we really need to know what a different kind of good or a different kind of better is going to look like for you. The next thing I would do if you are in pain in your relationship is have the talk. There are 3 parts of the most important talk you can ever have with your partner. I can give them to you right now. Is that okay, Lynn?
Sure, absolutely.
So if you don't have a pen yet, please grab one. Here are the three words to write down: vision, apology, request. Vision, apology, request. This conversation, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can do it. Give me 1 second. We are in lockdown with kids on school. I'm going to ask them to close the door because I hear sound in the background. Hang on 1 sec.
It's so good.
Gotta love homeschool, lockdown. And so with this conversation, my friends, share a vision with your partner that's about a future time frame not yet fulfilled. You might say, you know, this weekend, what I'm looking forward to. Next week, when the pandemic's over, when we're empty nesters, when we retire. Choose any future time frame, but name it. And if you and your partner can make it till then, and if it could be wonderful, tell them what you see. The second step is to make an apology. Apologies demonstrate that you have empathy. They demonstrate that you have a conscience. They demonstrate that there's hope, and it takes some of the tension that big tension balloon between people, take some of the air out of that balloon. So you want to make a very meaningful apology. And the third part is make one empowered request. Ask for something that would improve the quality of your life inside the relationship starting right away. Now, of course, in my book, I go into the details of how to make the perfect apology, how to make the perfect request, and I would love to give you those free supports today, so we'll talk about that later. We're going to equip you with as much free love as possible, so you've really got the roadmap. But if you take anything away from this conversation, if your relationship is in pain, take stock of what area the pain is in. Decide how you would rather it be and get visioning. And next, get ready to have that conversation where you share with your partner a vision, an apology, a request, have them do the same. And that conversation starts to bridge the gap between the disconnect to cause connection again.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I wrote the 3 down, and I'm going to do it. So no relationship is 100% perfect. So I think this exercise is good for all, even though I'm 30 years in, right? It's always good to refresh and renew. So, Hailey, how can people get hold of that book?
I'm so glad you asked, Lynn. Happy Love gives you all of the exact methods that I use with my actual private clients. It gives you the 5-step ideal love method, gives you all 6 of the skills of happy couples and how you can become one. And it was really written so that if I couldn't teach anymore, the methods would be available. And you can grab the book, information about it, free tools from it, or you can purchase the book itself by going to my website, theliftedlid.com. And if you click on the part for the book, you can actually peruse all the chapters and tell me which one you would like for free. And because you're watching Lynn's show today, I would love to give you the chapter you need most right now. There's a chapter on infidelity. There's a chapter on physical intimacy. There's a chapter on how to take inventory and make those shifts. So whatever you need in your relationship right now, you can pick, let me know, and I'll send that to you at no cost. It's my pleasure.
Wow. Another thing she's doing for the world. Hey, when are you gonna stop? But don't listen to me.
No, love is limitless for me, Lynn, and I have watched the struggle firsthand, as I mentioned, being the child of it, the wife in it, and even the wife in a happy marriage now. We've gone through our fair share of epic struggles, and we use these same methods on ourselves when we're in disconnect. And I really want you, if you are watching and you're in pain, not to suffer alone and then not to suffer any longer. It doesn't have to stay this way.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. And I say a lot to people, if I can make it, anybody can. And I have to say, I will honestly say my relationship now is better than it has ever been. And I'm so blessed to be able to say that. I mean, I hear so many people not in that position, and they just live on a daily basis. They just exist, or they coexist. And neither one of them are getting what they need from the other. And they don't.
And I think such a testament to you and your husband, Lynn. I won't name him because I don't have his permission, but a testament to the two of you. I've known you through those years. You and I have known each other from the time of me coming out of divorce and separation and coming into this. I knew you before I met my husband. And so you've seen me go through those stages. I've seen you go through those stages where you guys weren't sure if you still wanted to do it anymore. And you didn't just wait and say, we'll give it time. Maybe these problems will go away by themselves. You were so responsible. You leaned in, you looked for solutions, you were committed, you did the work. And I'm so excited that you guys are happy and in love and thriving right now, because I do adore you both.
Yes, but we're still coming into your course.
Well, yeah.
And maybe we should talk a bit about that before we sign off, because we're getting up there. But you have a 3-hour online program that you're offering next week, I believe, isn't it? February the 9th?
Yes. So in the spirit of free love, if you're in a couple and you are watching, I really want to make sure that you have many platforms for support. So here are all the forms of free love available, and we'll post it up for you after our show tonight. You are welcome to schedule a free 30-minute relationship help coaching session with me. You can text me. Lynn will put my contact details, but you can text me at 1-416-797-5856 to book a free session. You can also pick any one chapter from the book for free. But next Tuesday, because it's the week of Valentine's Day, and as we say, there's love in the air, but there might also be some tension in the air. Valentine's is the week where if your relationship is kind of sucking right now, you are hyper aware of that fact. Well, you might not be expecting any romance, and it's going to be a day that doesn't pass like any other day. It passes like a very sad and upsetting and letting down day. So if that is you, February 9th at 12 noon, I'm doing a free event. It's called Happy Love, The Secrets of Happy Couples and How to Become One. And we'll post it up for you in the comments. This session for couples is just an hour and a half. It's a lunch and learn. We will be doing a live lottery drawing for a really intense, longer couple session. It's going to be a great class. I'm going to be going over all 6 of the skills of happy couples that you can use for yourself. We'll be making lots of tools available. And if you are a wedding planner or someone that likes to support couples, I'll be doing a bonus segment after on how you can become a marriage planner or a marriage mentor yourself so that you can use these techniques to help more couples.
Wow, that's good. Pass it on, right? That's
Yeah.
great. So do you want to share a few love quotes with us?
Sure. Oh gosh, there's so many good ones. Some of my favorites. A marriage is about falling in love many times over and over, but with the same person. It's one I really like. They say that love is like a faucet and it can turn on and off. Not the same as when you've been heartbroken, you're still in love with someone and they're not in your life anymore. But when you're in a relationship with someone, trust that when the love is off, it can be turned back on. And it won't be turned back on by accident. There are steps you can take, steps I love to share with you on how to turn back on the in love phenomenon. One of my favorite quotes is to live the life you love and love the life you live. But to your episode tonight, Lynn, I wanted to read one more Renee Brown quote because, it was just so fitting. The universe is amazing. Happened to be reading this book literally yesterday before our show. Renee says, "It's amazing and not surprising that the connectedness we experience in our relationship impacts the way our brain develops and our brain performs. Our innate need for connection makes the consequences of disconnection that much more real and dangerous." And that was really the point of our show today, was to put out a little bit of a loving warning to couples that are in struggle, to say this constant, toxic, droning pain of a loveless, hurtful relationship, it is costing you more than just a happy marriage or relationship. It's costing you more than just stress or anxiety. The heart wounds show up in different places in our body. And there's a reason why I dealt with breast lumps so many times over heart wounds. And so we want you to know that if your relationship is hurting, you leave yourself at risk of that stress making you ill and having you hurt in very physical ways. And so it's time to get out of pain in your relationship, either by doing the work to make your current relationship extraordinary or doing the work to decide whether this relationship isn't a safe haven for you anymore. But staying in pain is not a great option because you deserve wellness, you deserve happiness, and you deserve to have beautiful, juicy love in your life. And Lynn and I want to help you have that.
I love that. Beautiful, juicy love in your life. I haven't heard actually like that. That's a really good quote right there. So Hailey, I really want to thank you from my heart for coming in and sharing with us today and giving people an opportunity to reach out to you and get the help that they need before it's too late. So many times I see so many couples just give up and walk away, and one still wants to work and the other doesn't. Don't wait till it gets to that point,
And there's so many options. On your behalf, Lynn, today I spoke to a naturopathic doctor who's excited to come on and be one of your upcoming guests because we want, for couples especially that are in a sexless relationship or experiencing sexual dysfunction or loss of libido in one or both partners, that there are options for you. And whether it means exploring pelvic floor physiotherapy for women, we're seeing a cardiologist for men because erectile dysfunction starts in the heart, less so locally, or seeing an endocrinologist or hormone specialist, such as a naturopath that focuses on that, so that we can turn your love and sex engines back on so you can experience all the things that you and your partner want to experience together. We don't have to be stopped when we feel stopped. When we feel stopped, that's when we want to explore what we can do to get to the other side of our challenges. And so I'll be setting you up, Lynn, with that amazing naturopath. She is a hormone specialist, and she would love to come on and talk about how we can keep hormones, drives, libido, sexual function well tuned up, because there's an impact to a prostate that doesn't get used. There's an impact to our sexual organs when they don't get used. And that's one part of being in a tough relationship. But we won't talk about all of that stuff today.
We'll save that. We'll save
Yes.
that for the next one. So Hailey, once again, thank you. I'm sure the viewers are thanking you too. I'm hoping to have you back on sometime in the future about another topic, so we can hopefully get you back. So don't worry, people. Hailey will be back. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday at 5 so that you can catch our hormone specialist that's coming, our naturopath. I'm really looking forward to that. We have some really good talks coming up in the near future. So thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for being here. If you're a wellness practitioner and you want to be part of this vision to educate the world in a different way, then please go to a different kind of better.com, check out our platform, and become a member of our platform. We'd be so excited to have you there. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday at 5. Bye for now. Thank you, Hailey.
Bye.